It's a full frame of capped honey. It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And they do that. See, I showed you the uncapped earlier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They don't cap it until they get it down. It's some, I mean, literally fraction percentage of moisture of water. Because if they leave too much water in it, it'll ferment, turn to liquor. That's like in the Bible, like what the first reference to alcoholic beverage was mead. That's what they made it from. They made it from honey. So if they don't get, you know, we're actually gonna try and make some at some point in time. But
what kind of liquor would that be, though?
It's honey wine. It's honey wine.
Have you ever had it?
I have a bottle at home and I've never opened it, but I'm gonna one of these days.
I wonder what it tastes like.
A good mead can be good and not too sweet. I think, you know, a cheap mead is like cheap wine. You know, it just doesn't taste good. You know. Mm-hmm. So what we do?
Not to get a buzz, but
right. Just it's like a liqueur, right?
Okay.
Flick the switch on. We'll let that heat up, and this is what we do. We set this on here like that.
Okay.
It'll take me a minute or two to get back into the, because most people they get too deep and they take too much.
Yeah, because you really just want to basically take the top off.
Exactly.
To maximize your honey in the bucket here. Exactly.
And then once we start running the bucket, then we get a half a bucket full. The bucket fits on top of the bottler. We flip the bucket upside down and it filters it 2 more times. And then we sit over here on this stool and just jar at a time, man. It's as homegrown as it gets, man. It's as homegrown as it gets.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. So we just take it, and you don't want to cook the honey either. So what you want to do, and see what the way that this is.
Yeah.
The pointed, you can adjust your depth. You see.
Yeah.
Against the frame. And after you do, 10 or 12 supers, you get where you
get a feel for it.
You're pretty proficient at it. Okay. And most of that'll come right out. And then sometimes you just score it, like what you can't get to.
Oh yeah.
You just score it. And this side, I go back the other way because I like to use the top of the frame as my guide. It smells good, doesn't it?
It's great.
Try it. You can eat the wax too. You can take a piece of wax and just chew on it. It's like gum. Yeah. And then we load it in here like this. You go in with the tabs to the back, just like that.
Got it?
Yeah, so generally, if you guys want to get your hands dirty, I'll do this for a while and you can just load. I'll hand these to you and you can load them up.
Okay.
These are great looking frames.
And you actually buy these frames, is what you do, right?
I build them.
You make them.
I build them. Well, I build them from, I buy the parts.
Oh, okay, you buy the kits.
I buy the parts and then I put them together with I got a brad nailer, right?
Yeah.
And just, I don't even use, I used to use glue, man. I don't even use glue anymore.
There it goes.
Yeah, these are gorgeous. I mean, they don't get any better looking than that,
You do this once a year, right?
Just once. I used to get 2 harvests because we're in town, and I would pull honey off like in June or July, and then I would do it again. I'd put 2 supers back on every hive, and then we get this kind of amber honey in August, September. Mm-hmm. But being how late we are, we're only going to do it once this year. See, this super was on longer. This is like an early super. This is probably from April or May. See how it's darker?
How dark, yeah.
It's darker. It may not be the honey, but the comb is older.
And it gives it that dark look?
Yeah. And it may be too, it may be from it may be darker honey. Because certain things might only bloom for a week or 2, right? So maybe they were just working, maybe this is tulip poplar,
Huh.
Yeah, right? So but that's why we just call it wildflower honey, because we mix it all up. We're not going to the trouble to make Tupelo honey or anything.
Oh, the thing's just pouring the honey.
Pour it.
It definitely tastes different than what we had in our backyard.
Just every
Definitely.
they'll all taste a little bit different. It's good. It's just, you know, some might be kind of peculiar, some might be less sweet, some are going to be thinner.
That kind of looks like that dark, but all of it.
Not all of it's dark though.
No, it's not all dark like that.